The Chandler Halderson trial will resume this week after an unprecedented pause. Chandler himself tested positive for COVID-19. The delay could pose some challenges for both sides of this case. Digital content manager James Langer breaks down what to expect next week.
It's something nobody can seem to remember happening before. A major murder trial being delayed because the defendant tested positive for COVID-19.
I do have to suspend our proceedings for a period of time because we cannot do any of our work through remote access through Zoom or any other means.
Judge John Hyland didn't tell the jury it was Chandler Halderson himself who tested positive, just that it was someone who was integral to the case. Halderson's attorneys were worried the jury would hold it against him in their deliberations. Legal experts say the defense could have asked for a mistrial in the case due to the delay, but Halderson didn't want to do that.
I would have been very concerned about having a break that long in the middle of the state's case.
Local attorney Jessa Nicholson says she would have wanted a mistrial if she was working on this case because the jury is going to have so much more time to think about the prosecution's argument and possibly be exposed to outside information. She says it might not be realistic to expect them to avoid it for a week.
I find that to be a little bit of magical thinking, no matter how well-intended and earnest jurors are. They've been told not to look at it, but human curiosity is a really natural thing. So I think it provides a huge temptation for jurors to read about the case or seek out additional information.
Prosecutors said Tuesday they were just a couple of days away from wrapping up their case before handing things off to the defense. Now the question is, will they need to retrace their steps once the trial resumes?
I expect that both sides will want to provide some information, which again would be atypical, because usually you don't have summaries in the middle of a trial. I also expect that the lawyers are going to take a little while to get back into their groove, and so it'll probably be clunky and slow.
Jurors will still have access to the notes they took before the pause. If last week's timeline holds up, we could see closing arguments in the case before the end of the week. For News 3 Now, I'm James Langer.
The trial will resume at 8:30 Tuesday morning. And as always, if you want to watch for yourself, News 3 Now will be streaming the entire thing live. You can also head over to channel3000.com for an in-depth refresh on the proceeding.